Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Sportsaholics. This is episode 4, we believe. Sportsaholics, the new Sportsaholics with Erik Marino here in New York City, John Sheezer in the heartland of Kansas
Yes.
City, Missouri, and now featuring Willie Hunter in Los Angeles, City of Angels. Willie, thank you for joining us. First of all, I want to start off with we're recording this on St. Patrick's Day Eve. As you can see, I'm actually wearing. I now look like the national flag of Ireland. I got a little green, little white, little orange because my Syracuse Orangemen will not be in the bracket. Boo! But you know who
Oh,
is in the bracket? The Willie Hunter's own Auburn Tigers are the #1 overall seed. Congratulations, Will. How do you feel about being the #1 seed?
actually, I hate it. I hate it a lot because I don't think that we should be the #1 overall seed. I'll take it, of course. I mean, who
You
wouldn't
should
take?
not be the #1 overall seed. You should be a 2 seed somewhere else.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I hate that we are the overall #1 seed because the overall #1 seed rarely wins the tournament because
Yeah,
Right.
everyone's gunning.
and
Yeah.
it's not the Auburn #1. Auburn wins the tournament as a #7 seed, #5 seed. They're not a.
Right.
#5 seed is great for Auburn. That's a great
They
Auburn
can't.
seed.
You
You're
don't
right.
win it as a #1. It's just. But to your point,
I think we
that's
right.
were
for
a
blue bloods.
4 seed. I think we were a 4 seed last season, and we got bounced in the second round to Yale or something. It was awful. It was awful.
Right.
That's a good
And by
sign,
the
though.
way, just so you know, Yale is in your bracket. Just so you know that
Oh my God.
you are
Not
facing the
again.
play-in, and then you have to get the winner of, and then if you advance that, and you're not bounced as the #1 overall seed to get bounced in the first round, which could happen. You don't want
Alabama
that to
State.
happen.
Alabama State could happen. I mean, it's in state.
So,
Right. Well,
wait,
then Louisville, Creighton, and then just so you know, you're also, as we said, Marquette is in your bracket at #7, and Tom Izzo, the Izzone, is the #2. The Michigan State Spartans are #2. Welcome to the Izzone.
which is my pick to win it all, just based on
You're
how.
picking Michigan State?
Only because this goes back to November, December, just seeing pictures of Tom Izzo pacing on the sidelines. He looks so old. I'm like, it's been 25 years, I think, since they've won. I mean, it's been forever. No
Yeah.
one,
Yeah, it's 2000. It was 2000. It's been 25 years.
yeah, there we go. And so, and then I'm watching Jason Richardson's son, and Jason Richardson, they're cutting to him all the time. And I'm like, man, I always loved watching him play. He was such a dynamic, athletic, NBA, with the Suns all those years, and then with the Warriors, dunk competitions. Anyway, his kid's on the team. So just because Izzo's old and Jason Richardson's kid is on the team, that's the only reason. It's just not
Well,
based
they
on
wouldn't play Michigan State until the Elite Eight anyway. So at that
Well,
time,
you're on that side. You're on that
if we
side.
make it to the Elite Eight, it's almost a good season. It is a good season, actually.
Talking
If you
about
make it to the
almost.
Elite
It's a
Eight.
great season for Auburn.
It's a great season.
I wanted Willie to name his favorite 2 or 3 Auburn basketball players. It'd be all time.
On the team now?
No, all time. Give me your 3 favorite, for whatever.
Well, I mean, you got to choose Charles Barkley as one of them.
Okay,
The
absolutely.
round, mound, and rebound.
And then there's a player for the Houston Rockets. God, what is his name? He
Yep.
played in Auburn a couple of seasons ago. He was
Yep,
really
really
good. He was a top recruit, top draft pick.
That's good. Okay, so that guy will be #2, and then #3, who would you get?
Yes, it's sounding really good. This prestigious program, #1 overall seed, Auburn Tigers. By the way, Florida is in the West, and if you go to the Final Four, you would actually have to face Florida, who beat you on your own floor.
What
You
was
are overrated and overranked.
who was
Really?
Porter?
Jabari Smith Jr. That's
Okay.
who it is. Jabari
Okay.
Smith Jr. And then I like this kid, Dylan Cardwell, that plays in Auburn this season too. He doesn't make a lot of points or anything, but he has the pizzazz. He is like the team leader. He's the one that hypes the crowd up. He gets like the hustle plays. He has a great Instagram. I follow him on Instagram. He's just a good person.
So
And
you're
that's
saying your
rare to
#3
come by.
overall all-time guy is like a 7th man on your team that gets
No, he's a starter. He's a
Oh, he is?
starter.
Okay.
But the #3 guy is just someone he follows on Instagram. That is what he said. That is what he's.
Yeah.
Remember, Auburn is a football school that's kind of like, hey, now we have Bruce Pearl. Now we're a basketball school.
But Erik, you can attest to this that I've called it basketball season ever since week 4 of football season. I said
it's been a basketball season, and I hope you actually have basketball season through March Madness, and
Willie.
I hope you get to April. I hope you get to April. That's my wish for you, that you get to April, because
that'd be great.
Because the number 1 overall seed, you lost to Florida, you lost to Alabama on your home court, you lost to Tennessee in the SEC tournament. You keep losing, and you don't. There is no.
We beat all those teams too. We beat all those teams too.
You didn't mention Chris Porter.
Chris Porter. Okay. Yes. That was like 20.
He was dominant, huge dunker. Apparently, he only played 1 year in the.
And he's a hell of a comic, that Chris Porter, Kansas City's own Chris Porter. Crossover, making connections. You got it.
But Willie, I went to the Big 12 tournament this week.
Right.
My faith in college sports was renewed.
That's good.
To see diehard fans. This was like the semifinals or quarterfinals. To see fans just going crazy on
who were playing. It was the Kansas versus.
Yeah, this was in the first game. So it was kind of nice. 1 ticket for $26. Got 2 games. Nice. Got Baylor, Texas Tech game 1, and then Kansas, Arizona game 2. But to see Kansas fans just going nuts on made or missed shots.
I mean, that's like a home game, right?
Rock, Chalk, Jayhawk.
They're having a real down year. So that was also interesting.
Did they make the tournament?
Yeah, they'll make the tournament, but I think they've got, I don't know, 9
Wait a minute.
10 losses.
Hold on. I'll let you know. Did they make the tournament?
Because, honestly, if I was in your boat as a Kansas fan, I would rather be like a 9, 10 seed than a number 1 overall.
You're 7 in the West. You're 7 in the West. You're gonna. By the way, you're facing Arkansas, one of the 14 teams of the SEC. SEC, Willie, your SEC has 16 teams. All but 2
will help.
All but 2 have made the tournament.
And some could say those other 2 could possibly have made it. Vanderbilt should have made it as well.
That'll help.
That's what you're gonna. Vanderbilt is in at 10. Vanderbilt is in at 10. They play St. Mary's. That's right. So, and Cheezer, didn't you? You're real close to this the tournament. Tell us, because I'll tell you, I was going to text you guys the other day because I happened to see that old 30 for 30, the Fab Five, and seeing the Fab Five. As soon as I watched that whole 30 for 30, I was like, okay, I'm ready for March Madness. It set me up. So what was the crowd like? We were talking off, but you're saying like Iowa State. By the way, Iowa State, Willie, who's number 3 in your bracket, they came. Tell us about Iowa State.
The Big 12 tournament just turns out to become kind of the Super Bowl for Iowa State basketball or Iowa State fans. Even though there were Iowa State fans at the game and around the stadium at downtown Kansas City, or arena, whatever you call it. That day, they weren't even playing, and they were out and about just watching, taking in college basketball. So
scouting. They were advanced scouting, is what you're saying.
Oh, who knows? Arizona shockingly had a decent amount of fans there, considering how far away Tucson
first time in the Big 12, right? This is their first time in this tournament.
I guess so.
Because they were in the Pac-12. They were. So that's ASU's there too. Is that what came over? The
Arizona State, yeah, and
okay.
I think Colorado. I can't remember.
I think Colorado. Yeah.
Or no,
it's Colorado's in the Buffaloes.
Yeah, that's right. They played KU. But no, it was good. It was great. It was close to 20 minutes to get home, like door to door. I just set my timer on my phone because I was curious.
Oh, that's so cool.
Took the little trolley, missed the stop, walked 2 extra blocks back. Yeah, so that was convenient. Because in the time I've lived in Kansas City, I've been meaning to go to this tournament every year, and I had tickets. I was in the stadium 4 years ago, and then my buddy called me to help him out at this bar. He's like, "Hey man, it's an emergency. Can you help me?" I'm like, "Yeah, all right, fuck it." And so I think it was $8. It was like night one, Texas A&M versus whoever, just some horrible game, but just trying to live a city life in the city. There's nothing worse than seeing people living, running around, doing shit, and you're like, "Oh yeah, that's right, I could do that. That's an option. Let me do that." And so in this case with the tournament, hadn't even planned on it, had just noticed a bunch of fans walking around. I'm like, "What time's that game tonight?" Look down, Vivid Seats, $18 with shipping and handling 26 or whatever the hell they throw the extra fees on for.
Right.
And it was my first live sporting event since the Royals lost to the Yankees.
Oh.
Wow. So winter is over, you're saying. That's
Yeah.
what you're saying. Spring is sprung and you're back in action.
Yeah, where it looks like it. Gearing up for a nice, fun Royal season, which we'll talk all about in coming episodes.
We absolutely will. We'll also be talking about Giancarlo Stanton's elbows and how they don't work, Willie.
Oh,
But
well,
that's for another episode. That's not for this.
I'm actually looking
all
up
right?
tickets to see if there's any games in Los Angeles or something, and they're not. The closest one will be San Francisco.
So I'm gonna
And
experiment.
that's like
So I found this clip of Brody Stevens from Kansas City. This is from August 18th, 2018, 8/18/18. Yes. But he's talking baseball, and this is gonna hopefully this works. We'll see. Did you guys see that? Is that on your screen?
I don't have
No.
it.
Let's see.
There we go. We got some going.
All right.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Kangaroo is hanging out, holding my couch. I'm going to step on the stage. I want to say thank you to Maud. Thank you to Kansas City. We need a World War I museum. Thank you to Auburn Stadium. Thank you. To the venues across the highway. I have to wait on a Lyft driver. That's what you get. I'm not anti-Lyft. I'm not anti-Uber. I'm just glad I was able to be picked up at Denny's. They have to show streets of San Francisco. I like the streets of Kansas City. They're straight. They're narrow. There's a little bit of a hill. You want to get some incline work, they talk about LA, they have the Runyon Canyon. You got canyons here. You can do it here. Thank you very much. Everyone chill, everybody relax. I spent the summer in Wichita.
Making connections, spending the summer in Wichita. Gone but not forgotten. The great Brody Stevens. You got it.
So that was he was in town with the Cubs. His friend was bullpen catcher for the Cubs. So he's like, Sheezer, I'm going to be in Kansas City in a couple months for the Cubs Royals. And I was doing like one of those brutal runs where you leave LA, you're in your car for weeks, but I was going to be around this area at the same time. So I just put a few calls out. Next thing you know, I'm like, go to the Royals game. Afterwards, we'll do a show. And he's like, all right, let's do it. And then all these people, he was shocked. He's like, well, all these people showed up. I'm like, yeah, you have fans, Brody. He's like, really?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, dude, people showed up.
He's part of the #1 R-rated comedy of all time.
You got
The Hangover. You got it.
And Due Date. That was
cut out of funny people.
Cut out
of funny
That's
people.
right. That's right. All right, good. So I'm curious to see how that renders like in the final product, but that's something I definitely want to do, just drop in clips like
Yep. Now we know.
And I think you guys will be, and listeners, sorry if you're listening, we're experimenting. I didn't do Zoom over the pandemic, which has been 5 years anyway. So even if I had, I would have forgotten it by now anyway.
Happy anniversary, COVID. Happy anniversary.
Happy COVID. This is probably the last.
Oh my God, we are around that time.
Yeah,
it is. No, just so you know, we are the day. This is the 5 years ago we're recording this. New York City shut down. All the bars, all the bars, all the restaurants, which by the way was right on. We're recording this, it's St. Patrick's Day Eve, and so just so you know, like New York City, which had just gallons, hundreds of thousands of gallons of green beer ready to go on tap. All of New York City shut down. And by the way, that's like we might have saved America by shutting down. That would have been like the outbreak monkey. Like, you're welcome. You're welcome. You
St.
have no idea.
Patty's Day, yeah, would have just unleashed like hell. I still have the LA Times from the day after they shut down the NBA, and it's like the arena from Oklahoma City just completely emptied with the scoreboard up above the court saying like, please, use the exits. And because I was
Yep.
I was watching the NBA that night. It was like the Sacramento game versus the Jazz, or no, it was either way, Colbert or not Colbert. Rudy
Gobert. Rudy
Yeah,
Gobert
for the
had
Jazz.
touched all the microphones, and then he tested positive. And it was like, what happened? I took a nap. It was a Sunday. I woke up. Tom Hanks had COVID, and the NBA was suspended. We were in a whole new world.
And there was there was that cruise ship in Australia or something. I remember there was like this.
There was one outside of Seattle that was and they wouldn't let people off. And then they were like, here in New York, it was like they could track COVID by they were like, there's a person who works at 2 Broadway theaters. So, Broadway got shut down for 18 months, a year and a half of no Broadway, which meant no restaurants, no hotels, like nobody going in, like, all the t-shirt shops. I mean, yeah, it was a big happy anniversary to COVID and all that. It was 5 years gone.
Dude, it just scrambled up the world. I mean, Willie, like, look out your front door. Look how much different LA is now.
Yeah.
It's
right.
It's a completely
5 years ago today, Tom Brady was on the verge of becoming a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. That's what was happening. He announced on St. Patrick's Day when I woke up in New Hampshire, and I had survivor's guilt because I had run away from New York City.
I remember when it hit LA, they told us to stay indoors, and cops were patrolling the streets to make sure that you were inside. If you were outside, you better be like homeless or smoking a cigarette. That's it.
like
you better have a reason to be outside, which is crazy to me. Like, a cop would pull up.
It was when they said you couldn't go on the beach. That was when it was like, that's when they became the no fun police. It's like, hey man, let people can go out. They need to be away from other people.
Yeah. I think I didn't take the test, so who knows? Maybe I got COVID, maybe I didn't. But I went up and did the Funny Bones last week with Uncle Laser from Kill Tony. And he's like the crazy, just out of control dude. Played a lot of pool, and I forgot I knew how to play pool. Won money playing pool.
Wow.
And, we played pool every single night after every show, which was really nice actually, because that's a controlled environment. When you start after shows, like hopping around all these different places, like no. Like, let's just go to a place. Everyone's excited we're there. Just, dude, the pool games were 50 cents. I couldn't stop talking. I was like, 50 cents. They're like, yeah. They're like, I'm like, but it's 50 cents, $1.50 at most places, $1. I'm happy, but I mean, that's Nebraska.
Nebraska. Wow.
Yeah, that was out, or technically that was Iowa. It was like Council Bluffs, Iowa, which is just across the river. I think is what it. And so, but this place apparently was a real bad bar, and the guy had bought it like 9 months and just remodeled everything and put in a bunch of pool tables. There was a strip club next door that he also owned, which was interesting because at one point he goes, "Hey guys, come here," and he opens the door and he goes, "You guys want to see a titty?" We're like, "What?" And we poke in, and we're like, "Yeah," which I say strip club loosely. It's the only strip club I've seen where the girls have on hooded sweatshirts when they're on stage. I was like, like this is
the lap dance were also 50 cents. Pool 50 cents, lap dance 50 cents.
It was
you just
put
like a quarter. You just put a couple quarters on her leg to let you know that you're next.
Dude, some Laser goes in there, and they're like, Uncle Laser, like they're super happy Uncle Lasers in this place, right? And they start playing stand-up clips on the TVs all around the club, which is and they play the one that he doesn't like he bombs on Kill Tony, and they're playing that one. He's like, that's not the good one. Then they hand him the mic, and he turns around, he looks at this girl, and he goes, "You look like a cheeseburger got chlamydia." And the whole place dies laughing. He hands the microphone. I'm like, dude, let's get out. Let's just go back to playing pool. This is too much.
Yeah.
This is too much. Then went back, won 20, lost 20, and then did that again the next night, but the Des Moines version minus the strip club. And then got back to Kansas City and felt like shit. Could not do anything for 5 days. Laid around just drinking Robitussin, vitamins, all that kind
Oh
of
yeah.
So I'm just gonna say it's COVID. It's more dramatic, and that would explain my memory loss, which could be maybe from all the alcohol and lack of sleep. But again, if I say COVID,
You got Uncle Laser. You got Uncle Laser. You got Uncle Laser COVID.
it was good, dude. I sold pretty much almost all out of all of his merch because the only thing that was left was triple X's and one like 4X. And so
What's your merch? What's your merch?
No, this was Laser's merch. Because
I got
he
you.
had a big bag. I'm like, dude, I'll sell all your merch for you.
Oh, I got you.
I'm like,
I was gonna plug your merch.
Dude, I just went over the top, like yelling, "This is the shirt you will buy tonight. We have them in all sizes, small through quadruple XL for the big guy." And I'd point at one, just having fun.
Right,
Yep.
right.
And it worked. It worked. We got fucking, I don't know, probably sold 50 or 60 of those things.
Oh, wow.
But kudos to Uncle Laser. Great guy. Wouldn't let me pay for anything. Like I had to like run and like buy energy drinks and stuff. Just good.
Yep.
Easy guy to travel with on the road.
Good headliner. That's what you're saying.
Right. Dude,
Positive.
I told him, I'm like, dude, he did 63 and 67. And I didn't like shake him down. But I'm like, dude, you're doing quality sets here, man. This is great. Yeah, so go check out Uncle Laser. He's touring all over the country right now. And I'm no longer sick, so I can really appreciate the week a little bit more now.
So fill out your brackets. My call, by the way, is a final game between Duke and Florida. You're welcome. You heard it here first. We're not going to get into a whole bracket because you guys are probably watching this after you filled out your brackets. The game's already happening.
Yep.
Thank you guys for watching. But I'm going to call Duke, Florida. That's my call. Will, you got any calls on any bracket tips for people filling it out?
As much as I've put a lot of pressure on Auburn for being the number 1 overall, I'm rooting for my Tigers. My heart, I want them to win. In my mind, I'm willing myself for them to win. So I'm all in on the War Eagle. We're going to take it finally this year.
And if you face Yale again, you want Charles Barkley to shut the fuck up, right? I mean, because
that's the thing. That's another thing, too. We got Charles Barkley on TV at every second. And they got all this like hoopla over Auburn. I'm like, come on, guys, just keep it cool. Just calm down. Like, let's take it one game at a time. So, you know what? I'm rescinding my Auburn winning the championship. I just don't feel good about it. You're
just trying to hide it. You're just now because you're going to be stealth about it. That's what you're doing. You don't want to jinx it. You can't call it. Oh no, I didn't call it. So because you're rooting for it on the low key. You went down low. So down low, Willie with the down low Auburn to win. I know you haven't even looked at the bracket. We're recording this on Sunday night.
I'm going to say Michigan State because of the Izzo thing. And then I'm going to say Missouri because they had a decent season, battle tested in the SEC. I'm not sure what their rank is, but they've got good leadership, great coach, who I can't even think of his name right now, but a couple nice wins this season. And it's been 20 plus years since they've even had a decent team.
Right.
Missouri's sitting in the West.
Okay.
Missouri is sitting at the 6th seed in the West.
Perfect.
So it's like, just so you know, Michigan State and Missouri in your world would have to face each other in the semifinal.
Okay.
So they can't face each other.
So
it's
KU is in the West also. Can we get a KU-MU matchup at some point in this tournament?
What did I say? I thought I had you at a 7.
Yeah, they could play in the Sweet 16.
Oh,
Missouri
my gosh.
and Missouri and Kansas. Yeah,
if we
I would love to see that as well.
Oh man, every bar in this town will be electric that night. That'll be good. And I'll be torn. I'll have to root for Missouri. I think in that one.
Oh, okay.
Only because I'll be watching it probably at my parents' house. Dad, a big Missouri basketball fan. Grew up. I have an autographed Norm Stewart photo in my apartment somewhere.
Yes, you do.
It was hanging up, and my wife's like, "We're not hanging up the autograph."
Stuff.
I'm like, "It's Stormin' Norman. Come on, man. He took the Tigers to an Elite Eight once, I think."
Someone do at least. It's like I don't have Jimmy Boeheim's signature, and I got me a national title in '03. By the way, I don't know, you haven't looked at the top 100 sports moments according to the
I
ringer.com
took a
of the
peek.
past
I took
25
a
years.
peek. I saw
Number
Akeem Warwick in there.
87, Hakeem Warwick over KU. Boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. That's right. That's right, everybody.
Oh my
I remember
goodness.
it like it was 23 years ago.
So who
It
was
was-
Syracuse playing in a tournament?
I believe your mother.
Ah!
I don't even
Wait,
think. I don't think.
mama.
I don't
Odds
think
makers
we
have
even-
them still losing by 8.
Oh my God. I don't even think they qualified the NIT. We actually have become, Willie, we're the flip side of you, a football school, Auburn, that's become a basketball school. We have actually been a basketball school for so long. And in the longest time, like probably since Donovan McNabb was a quarterback, we had a better football season. And it's very hot about our new football coach. And, I think our basketball coach might be on a little bit of the hot seat. Because the
for
ACC
sure.
and the ACC is, by the way,
Guys
this
got about 50
SEC
seconds.
14. Guys, I've been Erik Marino in New York City.
That's right.
Willie Hunter in Los Angeles. Sheezer
you.
in the Heartland. Stay obsessed. Thank you for watching episode 4. Tune in for more content coming soon. Thanks, guys.
Stay obsessed, right? That was the one thing we kept
Stay
forgetting.
obsessed.
Yeah.
Stay
Stay obsessed.
Yeah, I like that little tagline.